Hello world, welcome to a new episode of the Coffee Talk. Today we are talking about the second most asked question from you guys. It is how to become an OBC. This is something that it burns under your fingertips, guess. So grab a coffee, take a seat and let's jump in. And a little side bomb up front, you will not expect the answer to this question, I can promise you. So first of all, there is no training, there is no education. You cannot learn this job, and there is nothing which is similar to this job. So no matter which job you have learned in the past, doesn't really matter if you want to be an OBC. So now you can think it is super easy to become an OBC, but it is much more harder. But this is because of other things. No special education, but there are some more important points you should fulfill to become an OBC. First of all, you need a clean crime record. So if you have anything in it, you might not able to do the job. Many companies are asking for the criminal record. So if you have something in it, that might be a bumper. In these days, in summer 25, I think the market is overflowed with OBCs already all over the world. There are more than enough OBCs and not enough work for all these OBCs. This is one point. And the other particular point that comes to this, when companies has to choose from an OBC, let's say with starting point in Dubai, there are plenty of other OBCs already which have experience in the job. So why should they pick you? And this is one of the other points, how to get an OBC. If you don't have any USP, unique selling points for yourself, why shouldn't company decide to take you instead of another OBC? And I'm pretty sure there are more than enough OBCs at the airport located next to you. So it could help you a lot if you have a frequent flyer status, because also with the frequent flyer status, you get some extra luggage, or you have to pay less for the luggage you check in. And sometimes you have 5, 6, 10 boxes. So it will save the company that hires you money. And yeah, it's a little USP to you. But as you don't have a frequent flyer status, I think it will be a little bit more complicated. And even I already lost jobs because I had a frequent flyer status for SkyTeam in this particular reason, but I had it with KLM and they asked me if I have it with Delta. So they are really particular in asking. So frequent flyer status can help you a lot. The most important point when it comes to USP is the passport. With my German passport, I am able to enter over 190 countries without needing a visa. And if I wasn't rejected by some countries in the past, it's pretty easy to get ETAs for Canada, UK, and even an ESTA for the United States. Actually, no problem. But yeah, German passport is one of the strongest in the world. But even when I started 8 years ago, some companies rejected me because out of Frankfurt, there are enough OBCs and there is no demand. And so they don't want to take me in their database. But since I was doing some online commerce in these days, I had some connections to China and I get a letter of invitation from a Chinese company. And I was able to apply for a Chinese business visa, which enabled me to do a multiple entry. And after I had this visa and asked the companies again if they could need my help, then it only took 5 days. And then I received my first job. And my first job was from Frankfurt to Beijing, Peking in China. So the business visa for China was a really game changer for me in these days. As of today, in summer 25, it is able to enter China visa-free with a German passport. They set it up, I think, 1.5 years ago already. They extended it in the meantime. Now it's valid until the end of this year or maybe beginning of next year. Maybe they will extend it again, or maybe they will go back to the old system and then I had to apply again for a China business visa. But on the other hand, in the 8 years of doing this job, I built up a good network and now I have worked for a lot of companies already. And yeah, I have a reputation with them and they would ask me even if I don't have a Chinese visa. On the other hand, I tried to get a India business visa, similar to the Chinese version. And even if I have a good network, I couldn't found anyone so far who write me a letter of invitation, an Indian company to write me a letter of invitation. So yeah, a Indian business visa would be another little game changer as well. I would be able to get some more jobs throughout the year with a Indian business visa. But on the other hand, with my German passport, I'm able to travel into a lot of countries. And yeah, as I have my reputation as right now, I'm actually quite fine even without a business visa. But if you know someone in India, or maybe someone is watching here and you have a company, I would love if you reach out to me and yeah, could write me a letter of invitation, doing some business in the future, and yeah, would enable me to go to India a little bit easier than right now. I had to apply for a tourist visa, which enables me only to enter the country one time. And on the other hand, I'm not going there for tourist reasons. I go there for business reasons. If I'm performing an OBC job into India and I come there with goods to declare at customs and I have a tourist visa, that could be a problem. So, but yeah, if you have any connections to an Indian company, just reach out to me by email and or write it down in the comments below. I would be super happy about this. So, and as I had my USP 8 years ago with this China business visa, you need a unique selling point as well. Maybe you have two passports and one of them is a passport that is already really strong and enables you to get to a lot of countries. But maybe you have a second one because you have a dual citizenship, and maybe this second passport enables you to enter additional countries you are not able to access so easy with your first passport. So that could be a game changer. If you have any visas for any reason, the more countries you can enter, the better it is. And especially if you're able to enter some countries from your starting airport, from the country where are you based, compared to other people that lives in the same country or in the same area, in the same airport departure area. Yeah, just to be able to get into some more countries than other potential OBCs could be. Another thing that could help you a little bit is a frequent flyer status. It doesn't help you that much, but let's say a company is asking for a job from Dubai to Shanghai, and there are 3 couriers in Dubai already available, and you are number 4, and the other couriers are already experienced and they have a frequent flyer status, and you don't have it. And the job says you have to transport 10 boxes. So if you have a frequent flyer status, it is cheaper for the companies. They save money because with the status you can check in more luggage. And yeah, why should a company take you instead of the 3 other OBCs? First of all, they already have experience how to fulfill a job. And now you see a little junction right here. You are available, you have time, you want to do a job, but there are other couriers at your departure airport area. So why should this company take you? So it is really, really difficult to get into a job, to receive a first job. If you had one job or if you had more jobs, then it's the companies knows you. And if you do the job, if you did perform the job really good, you have a good reputation, and maybe they will ask you again next week or next month for another job. But yeah, to receive this first job, or actually to say to receive the first 5 to 10 jobs and to build up a reputation with any of the transport companies, that is really, really hard. It's not that easy. So yeah, as I told you in the beginning, I think there are a lot of OBCs around the world. I think there is actually no airport where there are no OBCs nearby. When you guys ask me how to become an OBC, it's actually hard to tell. The only advice I could give you is actually to build up your own USP. And this could be by your passport, which is not that easy to change. This could be by getting any visa, which enables you to enter more countries than other OBCs. And yeah, you have to do some jobs to get a frequent flyer status. But if the companies don't give you a job because there are other OBCs already have experience, So yeah, how to get in there? It is really hard. It is really difficult. Yeah, it's a real junction. It's a real problem how to get in there. Time for coffee. So yeah, as a little summary, there is no education you can do. There is no training you can do. You just need to be at the right time, at the right place. So maybe you reach out to some companies and maybe they say they will take you into their database, and maybe they ask for a particular job, and at this day there is no other OBC available at this nearby airport. So yeah, maybe you are lucky. So this could be one point how to get in there. And there's another really important point you have to think about. As an OBC, you work on a freelance base. It means you are self-employed. So there is no guarantee that you get a job. On the other hand, if a company asks for your help and they want to do you a job, you have to be available within a couple of hours. They will give you a call and you have to be at the airport sometimes only 2 or 3 hours later. So you have to be available for a wide range of days or actually weeks. But if you don't get any jobs at this time, you don't make money, and we all have to pay our bills. So it is also pretty hard to build up something around the job. Maybe to have another job that gives you the minimum of money you need to pay for all your bills, but it also gives you the flexibility to be ready for an OBC job as quickly as possible. And one last thing I want to talk about, there are some prejudices that are coming really often. So whenever I tell someone about my job, they always say, "Oh, that's so cool, you fly around the world and it's like traveling." Yeah, but it is not traveling. So guys, please make sure that you don't have the wrong expectations about this job. Yeah, you fly around. For example, I came in from Frankfurt via Mexico City yesterday. I'm in Monterrey right now, and I arrived here at midnight, and my outbound flight is at noon today. So I had 12 hours, but I was so tired. I was lucky to get right to the hotel, which is next to the airport. And to get to the city center, it's a 40 minutes ride. I don't want to go 40 minutes with a cab to the city center only to have a look for 2 hours and then went back to the airport. So in the end, there is no time for sightseeing. There is no time for going outside, lay on the pool or on the beach. So yeah, this job is not about traveling in the meaning of doing some sightseeing, laying on the beach, stuff like this. This job is about spend a lot of time in airplanes, spend a lot of time in airport buildings, and spend a lot of time in hotel rooms like this one here. And yeah, there's only some little time for doing some sightseeing, and not with every job you have this time. This is one thing. And on the other hand, if you have been to a particular city 10 times already, there's not much more to see. So yeah, just be aware that you don't have the wrong expectations about being an OBC, because flying doesn't mean holiday. For some people, flying is a job, and it is when you are an OBC. Something that isn't really from the category how to become an OBC, but just to let you know, you have to fulfill it. You need to have a driver's license to become an OBC. That is really important. You have to drive around for a last mile with a rental car all over the world. So yeah, have a driver's license. International driver's license could be fine as well. And also really important, you need credit cards, 2 at least. Better you have 3 and you have it from different companies. And the availability from 10 to 15,000 US dollars on your credit cards, because you have to pay a lot of extra cost upfront for the hotels, rental cars, and especially for the luggage. Sometimes I pay 2 to 3,000 US dollars only for one job. And if you do 1 or 2 jobs a week, then during 1 month, you have a lot of payments upfront. So yeah, make sure you have credit cards. But as I told you, this is actually not the, it's essential to become an OBC, yes. Okay, have a portion of luck and have a USP maybe. whatever this could be, but depends on the situation where you are located and what is the situation about how many OBCs are around your home base. So yeah, this is actually everything I have to say to round this up. If you have some particular questions about how to become an OBC, let me know in the comments down below. Just write me the questions and I will answer you as fast as possible. I hope I didn't forget anything. So, and as I told you in the beginning, this was the second most asked question I had from you guys. And the most common question from you guys is, of course, it's all about the money. Money rules the world. How much money is an OBC making? This is the most asked question. So I will dive into this really complex topic in another video. So if you don't want to miss this one, of course, you know how it works. Hit the subscribe button. Also, by subscribing, not only that it is free for you, it also supports me and my work. So yeah, it's really appreciated. But to be fair, I want to drop one bomb right here. If you do the job as an OBC, you don't do it for the money. Okay, if you liked this episode of the Coffee Talk, if you liked this video, and if you also liked my other flight-related, OBC and travel-related videos, then also please leave me a like. A like is always appreciated. And not only a like here in this social media world, also a like in this world out there. So you guys, remember, whenever you are out there in this beautiful world, we all live under the same horizon. So be nice to each other. Give other people's a like as well. Goodbye, world.